just talk about your experience in the builders meeting with the builders group that is not just your Detroit community.
I love that. I sit on a couple of national groups for parents, but my UpTogether, you know what, we all live in different states. Most of us, some of us live in the same state, but to hear their experiences, to hear how they're growing over the time that we've been together, the things that they're doing, the things that they're a part of, it's like they're right here with me. And it just, the opportunity that UpTogether, you know, where we get an opportunity to really use our voice and like help and not create the work, but we get to have a say in how it's done and what this thing looks like. We get to develop it right along with, you know, all of you all. And nobody does that. You know, they'll take a few statements or whatever, and really once the work happens, like, we didn't say that. None of our stuff is even in there. That is so not the case with UpTogether. And you guys are really intentional and mindful of, you know what, this is what you guys have said. We're gonna, you know, we're listening. And even when they don't get it right, they say, you know what, we're gonna go back. And we heard you guys loud and clear that this is what you wanted. And, you know, just that process of us working together with them and being allowed to do so in our authentic selves. When we don't like something, we are comfortable enough to say, this is not working, that's not right. This is hard, or that's not, you know, like, can we do it in a better way? And then the opportunity to be able to learn and grow and develop. That's my whole thing, right? I have a plan out here. I'm gonna have me a brick and mortar. It's gonna be a hub. I have plans. And so to be able to facilitate these new mom meetings, to be able to be on a fireside chat, talking about myself, talking about what I'm passionate about, like, that's a huge opportunity to be able to, you know, hold space like that. And so I'm super, super thankful to be even chosen as a builder. I filled it out so fast because anything connected with you all is what I want to do.
Getting connected with UpTogether and getting the funds, did that accelerate your goals at any along the way, or did that? Yes. What did that allow you to do?
It allowed me to start my LLC, right? So pay the state of Michigan to be able to start it. And although I didn't know that I wanted a nonprofit, I'm just like, I want a business to be able to help these moms. I don't make a profit from what I do. So I did that wrong. But, you know, like, the funding helped me to be able to start doing some little things in the community. Like, my first event was at the grocery store. I didn't have to find the parents. I just took some of the money from some of the money that I had got, put that together, bought backpacks, bought school supplies, then begged folks for the rest of the stuff. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to go to the grocery store. Nobody's doing a back to school event in my neighborhood. I'm going right up here to Grand Price. And all the parents are where the mamas at the grocery store all day long. And so I had over 125 kids get backpacks. The parents got resources and everything, but me using that money that I was getting in, I kept half from my family and the other half I put into the donations to be able to, that's a lot of families. That is a lot. That's like 75 families over here in this little area. 125 kids were able to get everything they needed on that day because of these funds. And I've done that a few different times, helping people or buying Christmas gifts for the lady down the street. She needed help. She had 8 kids. I have 9. I know what that's like. Again, with those funds, I would always keep, you know, the bigger part for my children, but I always would share. And my kids would pick out the gifts and stuff for the kids down the street. And so being able to have that capital helped me to be able to do what I had decided that I was going to do for the community. I gave my idea about, hey, y'all, we already do outreach, right? We already do that for other organizations. How about we do it for ourselves? Every month, like, I would go this month, the next person would go this month of her choosing what our outreach would be. So collectively, we would agree and say, okay, we'll go to the library and we'll give books or yeah, we'll go over here and support that organization by showing up and helping them serve food and everything. So those kind of decisions we collectively were able to do to support other people in the community that was doing this work. Or we would put our funds together and we gave to the homeless shelter, we gave toiletries and everything. So just collective decisions on which direction we were going to go in, what our outreaches would be, what our meetings would look like. Like nobody would determine the meeting. Like if it's my month, I'll say, well, I'm going to have an author come in, a Black female author, and she's going to come in and talk about how to get your story, like how to tell your story and everything. And then this person next month, she'll say, well, I want such and such, I think this will be able to help us. And then that person will come, or we'll do that activity, whether it was a visioning board activity, whatever we would do. But we were all intentional on giving each one of us a chance to say what it is that we wanted for the group. And we had very many different ideas. I think one time I had my friend come and surprise them. She worked for Mary Kay and she gave them all massages, and we did mirror work, and we were crying and boo-booing and self-reflection. And, she gave them beautiful kits for self-care. And so we would just be intentional on what our decisions was, what we wanted our group to look like, not physically, but when we go into the community as My Sister's Army, guess what? We're collective, and we wanted to do things that highlighted those things.
You mentioned a little bit more about the finances and disability, and how there may be some limits to what you're able to receive and what you're able to make. Can you share a little bit more about that?
That's really the biggest struggle that I have right now that I've learned. So from disability, I get $864 a month. It's not enough to live on. It's not. The reason they tell me that amount is because they're basing it off of what I've made in my lifetime of being employed. I became disabled very young. I became disabled at 33 years old. So I didn't have all these years to build up that amount to give for it to be able to support me more. Disability is not something that I ever thought that I was going to be on at this age. It's not something that I was looking forward to. So that is the check that they give me. And then I am able to work part-time, but I'm only able to make $1,000 a month, which would give me a monthly income of $1,800. That's not something that you can support a family on. They limit you on the amount that you can make in order to receive your Medicare, the amount that you can make in order for them to help you pay your premium for Medicare. And my premium is $134. So if I were to work any amount over that limit that they give me, they take my Medicare, which takes away my doctor's appointments, which takes away my infusions that I have to do in order to survive. A year ago, I was in a wheelchair. A year ago, I wasn't able to walk without my cane. And that's before I started my infusions. So these infusions have allowed me to have a little bit more of a normal life, where I can get out of bed daily, where I can do stuff with my children. So by putting that limit on, you can't work any more hours, or we were going to take away your medical coverage, it's hard, because I want to be able to work. I want to be able to have more of an income to support my family, to not have to tell my children, no, you can't have this, or this is our limit. Because I'm blessed with the work from home job. I'm blessed to be able to do that. But even working from home, they tell you, you can't exceed this limit, that you can't, or we're going to take away your medical coverage. So you're stuck in a hard place. That's it. There's a wall and a wall, and that's all you get. And so it's very hard, because before, and I think I had mentioned to you, I would be that person that would look on Craigslist and, can you come, clean my yard for $40? I need housekeeping. I need something done, because, there's people that struggle and need help with stuff. And then I needed help financially. But being that I'm physically unable to even do any of those things, it makes you very limited on, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to survive when you're giving me a budget that doesn't It doesn't pay bills. It pays some bills, but it's not enough to run a household. It's not enough for a mortgage. It's not enough for light and water. Even the basics things that you need, that amount doesn't even cover it. So you don't really have anywhere to turn at that point.
The investment that you are receiving was to you like a message of trust. Can you share a little bit about what you meant by that?
Yes. You know, being low income, you know, certain people in certain agencies and entities in society look and frown upon us being low income. And they have this mentality and this stigma that, oh, like we wake up and say, okay, I want to be low income. This is just what I want to do with my life. But that's not the case. And so those who are naysayers and are not, you know, do not try to promote or help or encourage, for you guys to give me, I'm hoping the other recipients feel the same way, for you guys to give us this opportunity, it lets me know that I am thought about, that I do matter, and that I do, you know, that I'm worth something.
Well, you definitely do matter. You definitely are worth something.
Excuse me.
It is okay.